friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're going to be sewing up the wide leg pants, and these are really cute little pants, so I'm excited. And so before we get started though, let me remind you about a fan fun giveaway where we give away $50 Ellie and Maggie certificate to one of our subscribers randomly each and every month. So all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and comment below and let us know what you love about our patterns, what's your favorite pattern, what kind of fabric you love, just anything you want to let us know, and then you'll be entered for a giveaway. So that's really exciting. So go ahead and do that now. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, you did it? Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and get started. I've already cut out my pattern pieces. Again, I'm using the Ellie and Mac wild wide pant pattern. So we're gonna get started. I've got my pant leg and I'm putting it right side up. Don't you love this fabric? Right side up. And I'm going to put my other pant leg right side down on top of it. And now I'm using the one front leg and one back leg. And how do we know which one that it is a front and a back? Well, how you know that is because it does not match up. See how right here one is higher than the other one is lower. You can kind of see by the wonkiness of the line, they don't go straight. They kind of, one goes up higher and one goes lower. The front goes lower. So you want to make sure that it's not the same piece because we're attaching the front to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the front to the back. They should match up correctly on this edge right here. But they won't match up if you can see how it goes a little bit higher. But on this side, they'll match up right here. And we're going to sew this side, the outside edge, together. And I'm doing that right sides together. So you want to make sure that you're doing a front and a back. You don't want to be doing both fronts or both backs together. So you want to make sure of that first. And I'm sewing that raw edge, outside edge together. I'm using my serger to sew it up. If you don't have a serger, that's all right. You can use your sewing machine, zigzag stitch, some kind of stretch stitch will do just fine. I am using this really thin fabric because I want them to be kind of loose and waggly, but you can use anything with a four-way stretch. Knit fabric would be great. Okay, so now I just steamed that seam all going one way, so it's all kind of laying nice and flat. And my pant leg is put together. I was kind of hoping to keep those lines kind of straight. They're a little bit wiggly, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to grab my pocket. We're going to put our pocket together first. I am actually not, I don't think I'm going to put this pocket on. I might put this one pocket on. I only am making one pocket, so I might just go ahead and put it on. We're going to grab our pocket main part and we're going to put them right sides together. And I am going to pin them. And now what you can do is, if you want to, you can either do it on your sewing machine. A lot of people like to do it on their sewing machine because it's easier to maneuver and so it's not bulky. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around the pocket, leaving a little, maybe like an inch space where you will be able to flip your pocket over. So you can do it in your sewing machine. Let me go ahead and do it on my sewing machine just because it'd be easier to go ahead and show you. Up. Going up. Gonna stop at the corner and turn. Straight down. Move the pin. Because of that pin, I got all curved. Stop at the corner and turn. See, I gotta move these pins out of the way or I'm gonna make a mess. And turn. I'm almost there. One more side and I'll be done. Ooh, that cutting it close. Oh. I went a little close to that other side. So I'm gonna have to take apart a little bit of it because I didn't leave enough of a gap to turn. So I'm just kind of pulling a little bit of the thread off. If you'll let me. I have to cut a little bit of the thread off. I told you to leave a gap, and I left like a 2-inch, like not even an inch, like a 1/4 of an inch gap. Okay, so now you can trim if you want like the corners, so it can give you a better edge. Don't cut the thread off, just like clip the corners so that it flips nicely. I usually don't clip the corners because I usually do it with my serger, but today I'm doing it with the sewing machine so I could show you. And now I'm gonna grab it right here where I made that little tiny little hole, which I'm trying to make a little bit bigger so it'll fit. You're gonna flip it around. So you're gonna tuck in your pocket and flip it right side out. Flipping it right side out. Almost coming. There we go. And then you're gonna make sure that you make it nice and even. You poke all those points out. Mine is not gonna be even because I didn't move my pin out of the way, so it got all wobbly on one of the sides. Oh, it looks pretty good. All right, so here's my pocket, and I did it like opposite of my lines, so it's like it's going the other way. Okay, and then my pocket top, I'm gonna do the same thing, but on this one, I'll put it right sides together. On this one, I'm only gonna sew up, over, down. I don't have to sew the bottom part. So I'm gonna sew up, over, and down. So we're going up, and my thread broke. Of course. And you know what that means. I'm not gonna fool with it. I'm going to do it on my serger. Up. Over. Down. Now I can clip some of these threads off. Okay, and now I'm going to turn my pocket over. My pocket top over. And steam. Okay, and as you can tell, when you do it with a serger, the one thing that's not as good as with a sewing machine is that it doesn't give you the straight edge. Like with a sewing machine, it gives you a better edge right here in the corners. But with a serger, it just kind of gives you, it's a little bit wobbly on the edges. Now I'm gonna grab my pattern piece, and if you put it in front of your pants, you will see where the mark is for the pocket right here. Okay. But I want to make sure where my middle is. Here's my middle. That white line is my middle, and I want to put that white line like right where my middle is, and I'm going to pin it on. Now my pocket top is going to be 3/8 of an inch above my pocket, so I'm just putting it 3/8 of an inch. Let me clip these threads. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew our pocket top is going to be, you're going to sew a line right here. Zzz. You're going to sew that top stitch it onto the pant, and then the actual pocket you're going to go down, over, up, and that's how you're going to stitch that pocket. And then we're going to grab, after we top stitch that, we're going to grab it and we're going to fold it down and top stitch it. If you're doing a grommet or a snap or the Velcro to close the pocket, you would go ahead and put the Velcro one part, the loops on one side and the softy side on the other side, whatever they're called, loops and hoops. And you would sew it onto it with like a little X. So you would sew an X onto it, and you would do that before you put the pocket on. So now we're gonna go ahead and put the pocket on, which means I'm gonna have to fix this thing, this sewing machine, and thread it. Yay, love our sewing machine. Has an attitude of its own. Hold on. Come on. Does your sewing machine have an attitude of its own? Does whatever it wants to do. Doesn't even listen to me. Alright, so we're sewing down on the pocket, down. Oh my word, come on. Honestly. Here we go. Let's try one more time. Going down. There is bobbin thread. There is thread at the top. You're helping me through this process. Here we go. Third time is a charm, right? No, it is not the charm. What is going on? Tell me you struggle with your sewing machine as much as I struggle with my sewing machine. I'm going to try a different thread. I'm going to try a brown. You know what it is? It knows, saying, I don't want to work today. That's okay. We'll make it work. All right, here we go again. This is the reason why I use my cover stitch. This is the reason why I use my cover stitch more than my sewing machine, because my sewing machine is very moody. All right, so we got the top of that pocket. Now we got to do the top of the pocket lid, and I'm gonna do it on my cover stitch because my sewing machine is giving me a hard time. Make sure it's straight, and if my cover stitch gives me a hard time, I am gonna quit today, because then I'll know it's me. You know, have you had those days where it's like all your machinery is just working against you? Yes. Okay. So now that my top pocket is on and my cover stitch worked, thank you for nothing, sewing machine, I'm going to fold this pocket down over my pocket top. I'm going to steam it down, and I'm going to go ahead and top stitch that lid down. So I'm going to top stitch right there again. And I'll do that in a minute. I'm just going to pin it down. But for sake of time, since I took so long fighting with my sewing machine, we're going to move on to the next step. So here is my, if you look at right here, it's like, whoop, these are my, like my crotch seam and my bottom seam. And so we're going to flip it upside down. Here's the bottom of my pant leg. We're going to flip it inside out. So this is the back side of my leg, of my pant leg. So bottom, back side. I've got my cuff. I'm gonna fold it right sides together, long ways. So it's just, here's my cuff. I'm gonna place it right on top of my bottom leg. Pin it, the right side of my cuff to the wrong side of my pant leg. Raw edges together. And we're going to sew that raw edge at the bottom. We're gonna sew it closed. All right. So now that it's sewn together, we're going to open it up and we're going to turn it right side. Here's my right side of my pant again. And I am going to fold that up. Sorry, my iron is stuck. There we go. I'm going to fold that cuff. There's my cuff sewn onto my pant. There's my cuff. I'm going to fold it up and steam it. And I'm going to pin. And first we're going to sew. I'm going to pin the front and the back and the middle. We're going to top stitch first right where that seam of the pant is. So we're going to top stitch it to the pant. It's like in the ditch, right at that seam, right through that seam. And then we're going to top stitch the top of the cuff. So right on top of the cuff, we're top stitching straight the cuff right onto the pant. So let me go ahead and do that on my, I'm going to do it on my cover stitch because my sewing machine is just being a pain today. So I'm going to go up and then sew the top of the pant. All right, so my pant is sewn, it's stitched up right there. And so if you're doing your, now we're gonna put our pants together. So I'm gonna grab my one pant, and here's my other one already also put together. I did the same steps, the legs, sewed them at the side, the leg and everything. I'm gonna put them right on top of each other and match up our inseams right here, this seam right here, and then the other seam right here, the other crotch seam, and they should line up front with front and back with back. And I'm going to go ahead and sew those up. Tell me, does your sewing machine give you trouble? You know, sometimes my sewing machine is so good. It'll be so good. It'll sew all day, so nicely, no problems, no issues, no nothing. It'll be as sweet as can be. And then sometimes it's like, I don't want to work today. I don't want to do anything. So no matter what I do, it's like, nah, I am not doing it. It's got an attitude of its own. That's okay. I feel that same way sometimes too. So, you know. Alright, so now we're going to open it up. How cute. We're going to go ahead and sew the inseam right here. Meet at the crotch, and then we're going to go all the way down. Well, we're going to go up one pant leg and then down the other. How cute. These are going to be so cute. These are for my niece, for her to lounge around in. My sister loves like the sweatpants. So my little niece is always wearing the cute little sweatpants. So she's gonna be like grooving in these sweatpants. Okay, when we get to the end, you'll have like the tail. You can tuck that in. What I usually do is I turn it into the seam. I flip it to the seam side, and then I sew it like a zigzag stitch right on top of it. And I'll come back and do that later when my sewing machine feels like it. I'm turning it right side out now. And my little pants are almost done. How cute are these? Oh, ting, 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 ting. They're like doing a little dance. Okay, so if you're doing a drawstring, this is where you would put your drawstring together, and what you would do is you are folding in half first, making that folded in half, making that seam, no, that memory fold. Then you're gonna bring it, do two sides to the inside. So you're gonna fold it in half first, then we're gonna bring each side to the inside, and then we're gonna fold it together. Each side to the inside and then fold together to create like a casing, and then you can go ahead and sew it all together at once. So if you're creating a, if that's what you want to do, drawstring, you can do it that way. You can use, you can go ahead, if you don't want to do that, you can use a regular drawstring you buy at the store. I'm not using drawstrings because this is for my little baby knees, and drawstrings are not recommended for little tiny babies, just because they can be hazardous, pull them out, do stuff with them, so I'm not going to even attempt it. But if you are, okay, so you're going to grab your waistband pattern piece, and it shows you where to do your drawstring holes. You can go ahead and do those now. If you're doing, look at your manual, mark your spots. If you're doing your, drawing a blank on the word, tell me what it is, tell me what it is. If you're doing eyelets or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can even do, if you want to do if you don't have eyelets and you just want to do a buttonhole, two buttonholes right there, and that's where you draw it through. I'm just going to do a fake drawstring. You can either do, if you want to do that too, and then just pull it from one side to the other one and just sew it on, that's fine. I'm just gonna sew it right onto my pants and then just make it like a drawstring. And it's gotta be fake. It's not gonna be even anything. But I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So I'm not doing the holes. So if you're doing that, you can go ahead and do that per your instruction manuals on your tool, whatever tool you're using. So I'm gonna put my band, I'm gonna fold it right sides together, and I'm going to make it one continuous circle. So I'm gonna sew that raw edge together. How did that get caught in there? And then I'm going to fold it wrong sides together now, meeting at the raw edges. And sometimes I like to steam it before I sew it together, but this time I forgot and I didn't do it. So if you haven't done it yet, you might want to steam it wrong sides together first before you sew it together. That way you have these memory folds. Okay. Make sure your raw edges match up. And I'm going to steam. I'm going to match up my seam, then I'm gonna put the seam, and this I'm gonna go out to the front, and that's gonna be my front piece. I'm gonna notch it. By notching, I mean I'm just clipping a little tiny bit of fabric so I can tell where my pins are. Then I'm gonna meet my front and back together and go out to one side, and then the other side, and I'm gonna notch it again. And those are my quarters. 1, 2. I'm gonna grab my pants, already have their quarters, front, back, side, side. So then I'm gonna put my back to the back. How do you know it's the back? Because it's higher than the front. So the higher is the back. Back has the higher rise. So I'm gonna fit it right. I'm gonna pin the back to the back. I'm gonna go to the side. I'm gonna pin the side to the side. The raw edges are sticking up.
and I'm fitting this band right on top of my pant, right on the outside of my pant. I'll show you in a minute. Now if you did your hoops, if you did your see, just right there, if you did your eyelets, make sure that the eyelets are on the outside, so the eyelets are facing the pant, so you're touching the eyelets to the pant, to the front side of your pants. And now I'm going to go ahead and sew that all the way around. Stretching just a tiny bit. Following what you pinned, the quarters. Two more quarters. Now one more. And our waistband is done. How cute are these? You want to make sure that you steam your seam down the same way all the way around, because when you steam it the same way, going like if they're going down all the way, go down all the way, then it gives it a straighter look. Then if they're up down, then it's all wobbly. You don't want it all wobbly. You want it all going the same way. How cute are these? So now if you have your eyelets and if you did your holes, then you would feed your strap all the way into that hole, go all the way around, poke it out the other side, tie a knot at the end. Or if you want just a faux, you can grab your string that you got, or if you're using fabric, you can put it wrong sides together, sorry, and you're gonna sew it together. And this one is pretty long. I didn't even go by the instructions. In the instructions, there is a little, it tells you how big to cut it if you just want to do a pretend band. But I just cut it whatever. And we're gonna sew that raw edge together, the raw edges together. To create a piping. Come on. And now I'm gonna flip it all the way around, and I have a tool, but I don't know where it is. So you can use your safety pin. Actually, that might be the easiest way to do it, because this is giving me a hard time. You can use a safety pin. I have a tool to turn it around, but you know what? I lost it somewhere in this room a little while back, and I have yet to find it. But honestly, I have yet to look for it. So it is my fault that I haven't found it, because I haven't looked for it. You know, it's like I only think about it when I'm in the middle of sewing, and I'm so busy sewing. Like, who wants to stop and look for something? Not me. And then like I'm like, where could it be? It's probably under one of my furniture things, like under one of my shelves, or it might, like, honestly, it might be in the drawer it's supposed to be in, and I just thought I lost it and I've never really even looked. Okay, so the pin works well, and I have turned it all the way around. So that's one way to do the drawstring if you want to do it that way. And or you can, like I said, get drawstring from the store, or however you want to do it. I am going to fold it in half, and I'm just gonna sew it. Well, first I'm gonna steam it straight. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna fold it in half, and I'm just gonna like top stitch it right to the front pant. And then after I top stitch it to the front of the pant, I'm just gonna tie it like a drawstring. And then at the ends, I'm just gonna tie like little knots. 1 knot, 2 knots. So you can do it that way as well if you want to. And that is it for my pants. This drawstring was a little bit thicker than I meant to do it, but that's okay. And you can sew it on as tight as you want to secure, or you don't even have to do a drawstring. Sometimes I get a little nervous. I gotta be honest with you. I do not like drawstrings on little pants. So I don't know. I'm debating even having it on. Okay, so there it is. There are the pants. Look at the little pocket. How cute are these? These are so cute. Now I just got to make a top to go with it. What top do you think would look cute with this? And by the time that you see this, I probably will have already made one because I am that type of person. When something comes in my head, I gotta do it like now, like today. So these are so cute. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did or did not do. I love to answer your questions. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you make a ton more of these, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, post it on our Facebook or Instagram page. If you're not part of our Facebook or Instagram page, our information is below. We'd like to have you come join us. We want to see what you're making. We want you to see what we're making, and be inspired by all the awesome people out there who are sewing. So yeah, comment, like, share, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.